Have you ever opened social media feeling completely fine and closed the app suddenly questioning your looks, your success, or your entire life timeline? If that sounds familiar, you're not broken, and you are definitely not alone. Today, I want to talk about something that comes up constantly with young adults, especially girls. Low self-esteem, insecurity, and the role social media plays in shaping how we see ourselves. This isn't about blaming social media. It's about understanding what's happening so you can protect your mental health and take your power back. Low self-esteem doesn't usually show up as "I hate myself." More often, it sounds like, "Why am I behind? Why don't I look like that? Why does everyone else seem more confident than me?" And social media is very good at quietly feeding those thoughts. One of the biggest ways social media impacts self-esteem is through constant comparison. Our brains are wired to compare. This is how we learn. That's how we make sense of the world. But social media turns comparison into a 24/7 activity. You're no longer comparing yourself just to classmates or co-workers. You're comparing yourself to carefully curated highlights from thousands of people. Filtered beauty, career wins, luxury travel, perfect bodies, soft life aesthetics. What you don't see are the bad days, the debt, the loneliness, or the self-doubt behind the post. Over time, your brain starts believing everyone else is doing better than me. And that belief slowly erodes self-worth. Another major factor is appearance-based validation. For many girls and young women, social media links worth to visibility, likes, views, comments, and followers. When engagement is high, confidence spikes. When it is low, insecurity creeps in. The problem is external validation is unstable. Algorithms change, trends shift, and attention fades. When your worth depends on how others respond to you online, it becomes very fragile. This pressure is especially intense for girls and young women who are already navigating body image standards, beauty expectations, and cultural messages, sometimes from both mainstream culture and the diaspora communities. Another layer is identity confusion. Social media encourages performance. You start asking yourself, which version of me gets the most approval? The confident one, the funny one, the polished one? Over time, it can become hard to tell who you actually are versus who you are performing to be. That disconnect quietly fuels insecurity, anxiety, and imposter syndrome even among high-achieving young adults. Let's talk about the illusion of being behind. Social media compresses everyone's highlights into one feed: engagements, promotions, businesses, glow-ups. When you see this every day, your brain forgets that life is not linear. You may start feeling late, behind, or like you are failing, when in reality, you're just human moving at your own pace. For diaspora young adults, this pressure can be doubled. Be successful, make your family proud, look good doing it, and don't struggle publicly. That combination can make insecurity feel like a personal flaw instead of a predictable response to unrealistic standards. Here is something important to remember here. Social media doesn't create insecurity out of nowhere. It amplifies what is already vulnerable. If you already struggle with self-esteem, social media magnifies self-criticism. If you feel unsure about your body, your intelligence, or your belonging, constant exposure deepens the doubt. So, what can you actually do without deleting every app? First, practice intentional consumption. Notice how certain accounts make you feel. If you constantly feel worse after scrolling, that information, not a weakness. Unfollow, mute, limit exposure. Second, shift from comparison to curiosity. Instead of asking, why don't I look like that? Ask, what does this trigger in me? Comparison often points to unmet need, not a personal failure. Third, build self-worth offline. Confidence grows through experiences, not likes. Skills, relationships, creativity, rest, and self-trust. The more grounded you feel in real life, the less power social media has over you or your self-esteem. Fourth, talk about it. Insecurity thrives in silence. Whether it's friends, a therapist, a trusted community space, naming these feelings reduces the grip. You're not the only one feeling this way, even if it looks like everyone else is confident or ahead. Let's wrap this up. Low self-esteem and insecurity among young adults, especially girls, are not signs of weakness. They are understandable responses to constant comparison, unrealistic standards, and pressure to perform online. Social media can be a tool for connection and creativity, but it should never be the place where you measure your worth. If this video resonated with you, subscribe to the channel for more honest conversations about mental wellness. Share this with someone who might need the reminder, and tell me in the comments, what is one thing social media made you question about yourself? You deserve the confidence that isn't dependent on an algorithm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.